name.
Yeah.
Hi, Ernie.
Good evening, everybody.
Evening.
I'm saying, good Erev Shabbos. Okay, we are on Mem Gimel Amud Beis 43b Mishnah. So we know that as a shomer, as a watchman, you're not allowed to use the item that's been given to you. What about a choished l'shloach b'pikod? You just have in mind, and you say verbally in front of Adim, I want to use this. Beis Shammai mechayev. At that moment, if something happens to the item, he's going to be obligated to pay for it, because even without physically using it, declaring that you want to use it in front of Adim is enough, according to Beis Shammai. Beis Hillel, Oimrim, Eino chayiv ad sheyishlach bo yad. Until you physically use it, you're not chayiv. Shene'emar im lo shalach yado b'mlechas reis says you have to do the shlichus yad. Then some details. Hitas achavis. You bent over the barrel to pour out the natale mena revius. You didn't want the whole barrel, you just wanted a revius. And during that process, nishbara, the barrel broke, ena mishalim el revius. He only stole a revius. He didn't steal the whole chavis. However, hikbia, if you lifted the barrel, the natale mena revius, he was already coined the whole barrel by lifting it. And therefore, if it now breaks, Mishalim Dmei Kula has to pay for the whole thing. Menon immediately that Beis Shammai says you're chayiv even b'machshava. The Torah Rabbana called dvar pesha. Dvar means you were medaber. You spoke. Beis Shammai, I mean, melamid shechayiv ala ma'aseh ala machshava k'ma'aseh u'Beis Hillel I mean, eino chayiv ad shishlach b'yad. Shenemar im lo sholach yado b'mlechas reis physically. So Armelan Beis Shammai Beis Hillel I'll look for Nemar. I'll call dvar pesha. Dvar. You just have to say it. Armelan Beis Hillel Beis Shammai I'll look for Nemar im lo sholach yado. Means you have to physically do the shlichus yad. So according to Beis Hillel, Kein Matam Lemer Al Kol Dvar Pesha, Sheyachol Ein Li'Eluhu. I might think that for a shomer to be chayiv for shlichus yad and pikadon, he has to do it himself. How about Omer la'avdav l'shlucho minai? What if he tells his evet, or he tells his shaliach to do it? That you're also chayiv. Talmud Lemer Al Kol Dvar Pesha. That's the Al Kol Dvar Pesha comes to include that. Okay. Hitas achavis. Then if he turned the barrel, tipped the barrel to pour out a revius, you're only chayiv for the revius. Amar Rabbi Lo Yishanel Nishbara. Oh, that's if the barrel broke in that action. Aval ichmitza, if it became vinegar, mishalem eskula. My time, giridi deu denanule. It was the action of opening up the barrel to take even just a revius, but that's how it became vinegar. So then you'd be chai for it. But the Mishnah said, Higbi of anotlim, you lifted it up, by therefore you acquire the whole barrel. You're chai if something happens to the barrel. Amar Shmuel lo notol notol mamish. Elakivan shigbi a little afal pish lo notol. As long as you lift it, then even if you didn't take something from the barrel, you're still chayiv. Comes out obviously nothing. The act of shlichus yadin didn't depreciate the barrel enough. So is that what we're holding that Shmuel holds? Amri, no. Lo, there's no proof for that. Shani achad the nichelated the heavy achav kula basis la revius. He's still happy that the other 5 gallons of wine in the barrel are the base by which he only wanted to take a revius, but his revius is not quality revius yain unless it's within that barrel, a full barrel. So he's interested in the whole barrel. So that's why in this case, it's as if he moved the whole barrel. Boy Ravashi, according to that then, what about Higbia Arniki? He lifted a purse. Lito lemena dinar echad. And you only wanted to take $1 from it. Mao. Do we say Chamud lo minter lagav chamr? Listen, a revius yayin cannot be maintained unless it's in a barrel of wine. So there you're interested in the whole thing. Aval zuzah minter, but even $1 silver in a purse is protected. It doesn't need other money. That's not correct. How you watch a purse full of money is different than how you watch a purse with just one dinner. So we don't have an answer to that. Okay. So we finished Bava Metziah DAf, the two very important prakim. Now we come to Perek Revi. This begins sort of our introduction into more complexity, which is going to culminate in Perek Chamishi, Ezeu Neshech, which might be the most difficult perek in all of Shas. As we'll see what we feel like after we finish Perek Chamishi, but Perek Revi is a lot of introduction to that. So it starts out like this. Azov koines hakesef. Let's explain. Normally, when you buy something with money, Harold is a storekeeper, and I'm coming in with money to buy something that he's selling me. Now, normally, money is not koine. I've got to pick it up. I've got to do Mashiach. I've got to do Agbah. That's what finishes the kinyan. Kesef, giving him kesef doesn't conclude the kinyan. There's a moral obligation. If I give Harold money, then the right thing to do is for him to eventually sell it to me. For him to go back on the deal, we're going to see, is not a good ethical deal, although technically he could do so. Okay. Now, let's say I have money and Harold has a gold coin. The din is the zav koines hakesef, meaning his golden coin is not viewed as money. It's viewed as if I bought fruit from him, like an item. And the money, the silver, is the coinage. Therefore, when I do Mashiach on that golden coin, Harold already is koine the money. That's what it means that the zav is koines the kesef. Once, because we learned in the introduction that my doing an act of hagbah Mashiach on fruit, so the kinyan is done. He already acquires the money. However, hakesef ain't a kones hazav. Like, if I just give Harold money, I don't acquire the gold. Similarly, hanachoshes kones hakesef. The copper, we'll see it's referring to like pennies, is viewed as a commodity, not as money. And therefore, if I do Mashiach on the nechoshes, Harold acquired, so I now have the nechoshes, and he has the money. It's coin of the money that I have, even before I give it to him. But if I give him the money, and he's holding on to the copper things, there's no kinyan on it, because in general, we said money does not complete the kinyan. Ma'os haraos, let's say there's silver coinage that has been damaged. So koinois esayofos, that ma'os rose is also viewed as a commodity. It's not money anymore. So if I have good money, and I do Mashiach on bad coinage that Harold has, he already acquires the good money that I have. Because again, the Mos Ros is viewed as the Chayfetz. The Hayafos ain't a koines esaros. Means if I give my good money to Harold, I don't acquire that because we said Midaraisa and in general, money is not coin. Similarly, an asimon. An asimon is a token, like the old asimonim that we used to use for telephones in Israel. It's just a metal token.
Mhm.
It doesn't have the face of George Washington. Coin is samadbeya. It's viewed as fruit. If I do a kinyan on the asimonim, Harold acquires my coinage. But amadbeya no coin is asimon. If I try to give him my coins to acquire these asimonim, I don't acquire it. Same, like we've been learning. What's the general rule? Metaltalin coin is amadbeya. I have silver money, and Harold has some metaltalin, some movable object. If I do a true act of kinyan, Mashiach or Agba on those items, Harold already acquires is a kinyan on the money. But Madbein, according to metaltalin, if I give him money, I don't acquire the metaltalin. Zeh klal, kol metaltalin koinen zeh. However, let's say there's no money. We're going to do a barter. I have a book, and Harold has potatoes. If I do an act of Mashiach on Harold's potatoes, so automatically Harold acquires my book. That's how Kinyan Chalipin works. Ketsa. Masha Chamenu Peiros. Harold is selling peiros, fruit, and I do Mashiach on those fruits. The Lonasan Lo Mos, I haven't given him the money yet. Eino Yachalachzerbo. So you can't go back on that deal. I've already acquired the kinyan, and there's no way to reverse the sale because I did the act of kinyan by doing Mashiach or Agba on the item I'm acquiring. However, if we do it the other way, Nasan Lomos, I gave Harold money. The Lomosha Chamenu Pesh, but I haven't done the act of Mashiach. Yachalachzerbo. If Harold wants, since I didn't do an act of Mashiach, he can be mevatel the transaction. Because we didn't do a Gemar Kinyan. But this is an important rule. Omru, there's a klala. Whoever took revenge against the generation of the flood and the generation of the Tower of Bavel, which is HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and there were no Dayanim then, but HaKadosh Baruch Hu paid them back. Means if Harold and I come to an agreement, and he agrees to sell me the item, and I give him the money, and now he wants to back off, technically he can back off, but there's a shadow of a mishapara over his head. And the Besdin on earth cannot force Harold to go through with the deal. But min shamayim, there's going to be a problem. That's called you accept the mish. If you go back on a deal, you go back. There's a klal of a mishapar. Rav Shimon Omer called takesef biyodo yodo al elyono. That this thing we just learned, that giving over money does not finish a transaction. That's only regarding the seller who now has the money and he has the fruit. So if he wants, he can decide to go back and say, no, here's your money back. But me, the purchaser that I gave the money, he can't go back, even if he didn't do the Mashiach on the payrolls. Like Rashi says, Poligad Rabbon to Amri, when the beginning, this is important, these are important yisoides for us to, that's what I'm saying, to grab onto, because as we build now into Ezer Neshach, we're going to have to understand all this stuff. The beginning Mishnah said, if I give money, I didn't do an act of Mashiach, we can go back on the deal. Who can go back? Either party, the mocher or me, the purchaser. Comes Rav Shimon to say no. The seller he controls, and he can go back because he now has the money that I gave him and the item that I'm buying. But the purchaser, he can't go back. Why? The Gemara will have to tell us the reason. Okay. Masila Rebbe Reb Shimon Bre. Reb Yehuda Nasi, Rebbe, had a son, Reb Shimon. And he was teaching his son this Mishnah. And he said, Azov koines hakesef, that if a gold coin is very valuable, and even though it's a coin, and we think it's money, in contradistinction to silver money, which was the normal coinage, it's viewed as a commodity, as an item, as fruit. That's what the Mishnah said. Amar lo, so his son, Reb Shimon, responded to his father, Rebbe, Shanisa lanu bi'al dusecha, that's not how you taught us when you were young. In the first edition of the Mishnah that you came out with, you said the opposite, hakesef koines hazov. And now you went back, v'tishanu lanu b'ziknusecha zav koines hakesef. So the Gemara wants to know, what did he hold when he was young? What did he hold when he was old? Gold coin is more important than a silver coin. Therefore, silver coin is not as worth as much. Havi Pere is therefore considered like the fruit I'm buying. And therefore, Kanile Pere Lativi means if I do an act of Mashiach on the silver, like if I did an act of Mashiach on fruit, then the other party would be coining the money. But Beziknu Savar, when he got older, he understood there's a different issue. Kaspa de Charif. Many stores will not accept a gold coin. A silver coin is flowing, like the money supply, the Fed. You know, it's everyone will accept it. So it's oiver lasoiche in every place, no matter where you go. You might show up to Mobile, Alabama, and the store will throw you out if you try to give them a gold coin. They don't know what it is. They have no experience with it. How am I going to bank it? So silver is more charif in the language of Chazal. Therefore, it's viewed as a commodity. So therefore, havi tiva. Therefore, the silver is viewed as the money, and the gold that is not coming and going quickly is considered like the fruit. So therefore, so that when you do an act of Hagbor Mashiach on the fruit, in this case the gold, it will acquire the coinage for the other party, period. Ravashi. Ravashi says, what he said when he was young makes much more sense. Miditani, because of what was said later in the Mishnah, that the copper, which was referring to copper coinage, is viewed as commodity, not as money. So like this, if like in Rabbi's youth, the silver, which was worth less than gold, is therefore viewed as a commodity. So that's why the Kotani and the Chosh is Koines HaKesef. That's why the same thing, Nechoshes, if you make an act of Mashiach and Nechoshes, it will acquire the Kesef. Why? Because Atul Gabidav Peiravi, because even though regarding comparison to gold, it would be viewed as a commodity. We talk about silver, Lagabi Nechoshes Tiva. In comparison to copper, the silver would be coinage. That makes sense. But if in comparison between silver and gold. You told me kesef makes more sense that it's money because it's charif. So that doesn't make sense. When you compare silver to gold, which is certainly more important than silver. Amr Tiva, you said that the kesef is viewed as money. Copper. Yes, Tzvi. We're gonna learn tomorrow? Okay. So I'll see you at about 4:30 because Mincha's 5:30. See you then. Okay, bye-bye. What time are we learning? A 5:45?
5 to 6. 5:55.
5:55 is when we're learning Daf Yomi? Tomorrow, like
That's
6.
what he says in the Koleinu.
Okay. So but that in relationship to copper, silver is both more valuable and more harif. We would know that. So the Gemara says there's no raya. It's strict. We still need it to be taught this way. Honey priti, copper pennies. Maybe copper coinage is even more harif. That means exchangeable more than even silver. So emativa, maybe in the fight between silver and copper would be viewed as the coinage. Since there are locales where nobody uses copper, therefore copper is viewed as the fruit, and therefore anachoshes koines hakesef, like we said. The DAf Doc. Now, Rav Chia also learned that when you compare silver and gold, gold is considered money. Where do we see that? The Rav Oiziv Dinri Mibartid Rav Chia. Rav loaned money to the daughter of Rav Chia. Actually, he borrowed. The Sofi Yakar Dinri. The dinar became more valuable. A dinar is a silver coin. Now it became more valuable, even in relationship to gold. Also, committed Rav Chia, what should he do? If he's going to pay more, maybe there's an Isser Ribis. Amr le'zil sholim lo tivim v'tekilim. Pay back silver coins. The same if she gave you 100 dinar, you give her back 100 dinar, not in terms of their value. So if gold is viewed as money, shapir. If you say that gold is like an item, if your neighbor borrows a bushel of sugar and you give him back a bushel of sugar in 6 months and there's a difference in price, there could be ribbis. So there's no real loan here, said. Rav din Rav Alei. Rav had dinarim somewhere else. He only needed the silver temporarily. The kivin davale dinner, since he had other dinim, nasa ko'omer law, it's as if he said to her, Yilveni ad sheyavu b'niu ad she'emsam mafteach. He had it in a warehouse somewhere. Just give it to me on a short term until I get my key. That's not called a loan, and therefore there's no ribbis. The following Tana also holds that gold is considered money. The Tanya. Pruta sha'amru. When Chachamim say that you're Makadish Nisha with a pruta, that's Echad Mishmona Be'Isrei Talki. That's a pruta that's worth 1/8 of the Italian Isser. Lamai Nafkamina, why do we need to know that? A pruta is a pruta is a pruta. No. Likidushe Isha. We need to know what that value is. So we compare the value to an Italian Isser. And to go further, Isser is Echad Mesim V'Arba B'Din Shel Kesef. An Isser is 1/24 of a dinner made of silver. L'may nafkamina l'mekach u'memkar, to know what the values are. We go further into coinage. Dinner shel kesaf, echad me'azim chamisha b'dinner shel zav. One silver dinner is 1/25 of a golden dinner. L'may nafkamina lepidina ben. You have to give 5 sela, which are made out of silver. It's each sela is 20 dinner. So if you give 1 dinner zav to a kohen, you have to give another 5 dinner kesef, because we just said it's normally 25 slime, and here you only gave 20, so you still owe 5 dinner. So if you tell me that golden coins or golden dinarim is a coin, so mishartan b'mida the kids. So the ultimate coinage is gold because everything's compared to it. That's the fundamental coinage. See, even the silver coin, we discover its value by comparing it to the standard, like the gold standard. And therefore, in that reason, kesef would be like the fruit. Because kesef is going to go up and down while the gold is going to stay the same. If you're going to say gold is considered fruit, is the Tana going to use an item as a pre that goes up and down in price? So zin and debater lekana v'zin and moisef lekana. Sometimes you're giving less to the coin, sometimes you're giving more to the coin. So it is a considered coinage in some examples, and shmami no. It's not awesome. Beishamai oimrim lo yasa adam sloim b'din rezov. When you give meiser sheni or other money relating to hegdish, don't use golden coins. Beisil matirim. Rav Yochanan and Reish Lakish argue. Chadar machloikes is when you're exchanging sloim al dinorim. Because Beishamai Savri Kaspativa, that normally silver is the money. Udahava peri, and gold is considered the item. The tiva peri l'machalina. You're not machalel coin to fruit, but Beis Hillel Savri Kaspa peri d'avativa. The silver is like the item, and the gold is like the coinage. Uperativ mechalel. So, and you can be mechalel the fruit on coinage. Aval perus al dinorim divrei kol mechalina. On, if you want to transfer the kedusha of fruit to a golden dinner, according to everybody, it would work. My timer. Because silver coinage is always going to be coinage. Even though money compared to Zov is considered, we said the Zov is like the fruit. The Gabi Perus Tivavi. Coin with fruit is the gold coin will always be a coin. And Zov Nami, the Beishamai Alpha Gab the Dov Gabi Kaspa Peravi, even though when you have silver and you have gold, the silver is considered the Perus. The Gabi Peri Tivavi. When you're being Machalal, Meiser Sheni fruit on coin, even a golden coin is considered coin. V'chad Amar, Apa Peris al Dinor Machlokes. That even there's a Machlokes regarding Dinor Shel Zov. And according to one of these Mandarim, the golden coin will never be considered money. Ulamandam Apa Peris al Dinor Machlokes. So according to that, Adimifically Biswal Dinorim, before they argue on that, Liflog the Peris al Dinorim. Let them argue regarding fruit and golden coin. So answers the Gemara, iflik beperes al dinorim, if that would have been the machlokes, havamina hanamili beperes al dinorim. Fine, dinner shel zov and peros, they have a machlokes avu b'sloim al dinorim, but with a silver seller, maybe moidel besil beishamai the dav gabi kasper peiravi. Maybe they will agree to beishamai that when you have gold and you want to purchase it with silver, the gold would be viewed as peri, v'lo mechalalinon, kamash v'lon that you are, and to stayim, I'm going to preach to you, sherav yoichlenu, that is the one that says ein mechalin peris al din rezon, that you don't take ma'aser sheni fruit and transfer the kedusha to golden money. Sha'amar Rav Yochanan, and we'll learn the proof tomorrow in the Daf Yomi.
By the way, Ernie, it's very apropos you're learning about Zahav, because Zahav is very, at the moment, Zahav is used as kesef in the world. And that's why gold went up like $500 in the last month and a half. And it's very volatile at the moment. So, but what's happening with gold?
Yeah, because people,
is,
Russia and China are trying to break the dollar's sort of flag as the main denomination of the world.
No,
Silver is going its own way.
No, but what it is no, there's much more to that than that. What's happening is
part of it.
No, I think that basically it's not Russia and China.
That's why Bitcoin is going up. Any currency that's
Ernie,
the dollar is going up.
Ernie, I'm in the gold business. So can I tell you? Okay. So I know you're listening to all that stuff, but
no, Kenny Alter explained it to us last week. Remember?
Kenny Alter could explain it to you, but Kenny Alter is not in the gold business.
Okay.
So basically what's happening in the gold business is with Iran and Russia, there's an embargo on their oil. Number two is the Bitcoin. You're talking about Bitcoin going up. Bitcoin got stung very badly last year, and it went down a lot. It's like a bearer bond. Gold has become a bearer bond. The Bitcoin and the cryptocurrencies are actually buying gold as well to shore up the cryptocurrency. They have to have something behind it. So they're buying a huge amount. Number two is
that's driving the price up.
That's one of the things that are driving the price up. The other thing that's driving the price up, because of the embargo on Iranian oil and Russian oil, they need to find a way to pay for that oil. And the way to pay for that oil is with gold swaps. And they're also buying gold. Besides that, in America today, I'll give you an example. I can tell you now that Costco's schedule, last year they sold $1 billion worth of just gold, gold coin, not gold coins, it's just a 1 ounce gold. This year they scheduled to sell, and they sold out this week. I know that because I'm involved. They sold out, they're scheduled for $2.5 billion of gold sales to people in America. Everybody is very nervous in the world, and that's what become a matbeh again. So it's just apropos that we learned about gold, and that gold was used then, and gold is still used now as a currency. Besides that, people are paying with that gold. It's not simple, so it's used as currency, as payros, or whatever you want to call it. Today, back again.
Okay.
All right.
Good
Shabbat
job.
shalom, everybody.
Shabbat shalom.